Hi everyone, I'm Varda Sharma, editor Newsband, daily English newspaper of Navi Mumbai. Today we have with us Dr. Sanjay Mukherjee, who has recently joined as the Vice Chairman and Managing Director, CIDCO. Welcome, sir.
Good evening.
Dr. Mukherjee is an IAS officer from 1996 batch of Maharashtra cadre. He has done his MBBS from Government Medical College, Nagpur. He has also done short-term course on public finance from Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, Chartered Financial Analyst in Finance from Institute of Chartered Financial Analysts of India, and has a degree in Public Administration and Finance from Toronto University, Canada. Before joining CIDCO on 19th August 2020, he worked as Additional Commissioner Projects, Mumbai, Commissioner at Maharashtra State Excise Department. He was Joint Managing Director at Maharashtra Airport Development Company, Commissioner at Jalgaon Municipal Corporation, and Additional Commissioner at Nagpur Municipal Corporation. Sir, very curious to know, you have an MBBS degree, you are a doctor, so why did you opt for Indian Administrative Services?
This was a question that was asked during the civil services exam. Why, as a doctor, do you want to enter the Indian Administrative Service? So I gave an answer at that particular point of time. But I tell you, in the course of time, I was Secretary of Medical Education during the COVID period. And in fact, we have written 7 books. And the entire protocol of COVID that is being followed was written by me and my team at that particular point in time. So the technical knowledge of the medical field has been of direct use to me in my career. But the reason I have given at that point of time was that it's all about nation building. And if a person is a doctor, it doesn't disqualify him from participating in something else. All over the world, we have this concept of dropouts. So people enter into one subject and then they study for a while in that subject and then they leave that subject and move on, So that is what the answer I had given at that point of time, that I am a dropout. And I have been, in fact, in those days also I used to attend, suppose I am in 3rd year, but I used to attend 2nd year classes if the lecture was good. So that is what I think dropouts were all about. So I have this habit of wandering and I have this thirst of knowledge. And I had this desire to do something different. That's why I had gone to the Indian Administrative Service. In the course of time, I picked up some proficiency in that subject. So I did a degree in finance, I did a degree in public administration. And of course, then in the course of life, then you do a lot of work. So my first foray in the infrastructure period was when I was the Joint Managing Director of Maharashtra Airport Development Company. So at that particular point of time, we were just 7 people. And we designed the so-called Vihan project in Nagpur Airport. And we actually, I always say, we worked with scale and pencil. We went in the field, we actually did the work on the ground. So those were times when we were much younger, I was much younger. And, we actually went out to the field, did the survey, and that is then later on I became the collector of Nagpur. I continued on the board of that organization. Then I became the chairman of Nagpur Improvement Trust, which is an organization very similar to CIDCO, but it looks after development of the. It has developed the city of Nagpur and the neighboring areas of Nagpur. And of course, I was Municipal Commissioner of Jalgaon. As time went on, I had the opportunity to work as the Additional Municipal Commissioner Projects in the Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai. And the BMC, of course, is, it does major works. So I was fortunate that I could look after important projects, like the Mumbai Coastal Road project. I had the good fortune of planning and actually starting the work. I had the good fortune of planning and starting the Mumbai sewage disposal project. I had the good fortune of seeing that the Middle Vairana project was actually fully and finally commissioned. I had the good fortune of seeing that one of the longest tunnels of water ever dug in Maharashtra state were executed by the BMC. We had another good fortune of being a part of what is called as lake tapping, which means that there is this lake and you tap it here. You don't build a dam here and you take the water from there. You tap right from the bottom of the basin. So that is something which was done in Switzerland, and that is something which was done in Koina. by Swiss consultancy, and BMC at that particular point of time, without a foreign consultant, was able to do that. So I was fortunate to be a part of that project. So that's how it has been, and as time has gone on, we have changed over. But yes, definitely, medical science has been of great use to me in this project.
Sir, the first question, and I think this is the question that most of the Navi Mumbaikars would like to know, is that when are we going to get our Greenfield airport and the metro? I know there have been quite many roadblocks, but when are we going to get, is there any particular date or time frame when we can expect the first flight or the metro to take off?
So the metro is it's quite an old project. It's almost a decade that the metro had started. And I took an initial review of the metro, and part of the civil work has been done. Some of the electrical equipment has been purchased, but honestly speaking, we need to do a lot of work in the metro. If any project has not been done over a long period of time, then obviously there is an organic problem in the project that it has not happened. And later on, MMRDA started the metro project later after CIDCO began this project, and MMRDA's lines are now functional, and CIDCO's lines are not functional. So now we have a fully new team in the corporation. CIDCO has a fully new team. So I am new, the joint managing director is new, and we are now looking at all the aspects of the contract and all the aspects of the work, and all the issues. So we are doing a live listing of all of these things. After doing live listing, we are going to find out what is the problem with each of these things, and then we will set up timelines. This is a work of great detail. It will be irresponsible of me to give you a deadline, please carry forward. But I think in the next interview or in the next interaction that we have, I should be in a position to tell you what will be the timeline for the. As far as the airport is concerned,
we are waiting eagerly for the project.
Yes. So the airport is the land acquisition of the airport is almost over. Only 4% of the land remains to be acquired. The work which CIDCO was supposed to do, that is also going on at a good pace. The river diversion part is done, but still there is a lot of work which CIDCO has to do. In the meantime, there are certain issues with the concessionaire, Navi Mumbai International Airport. Again, we need to go into the very bottom of this particular thing, and we need to list out all the issues that are there, and then we need to sit down with the other side, and we need to then find out solution to each of these problems. So both are extremely large projects. The airport has been also, affected by, according to the concessionaire. The concessionaire feels that the coronavirus epidemic has brought down the number of flights in the Mumbai airport, and therefore he feels that certain amount of time should be given regarding Navi Mumbai International Airport. So all these issues are issues which require a lot of mathematical analysis. They need a lot of legal understanding, and they need a lot of discussions between the concessionaire and the. So currently we are doing a line listing, and then we will be sitting down with the concessionaire, and then we will be working out what will be the timelines, and then we shall be able to say. But definitely these are the two most important projects of CIDCO as of now, and definitely these projects require a great deal of detail and great deal of attention, and that is something which I can.
Sir, there is a complaint that, most of the, whatever is happening in these two projects, we get to learn only, not directly from CIDCO. For instance, Adani Group taking the stake from GVK. We did not learn it from CIDCO, we got it from other sources. So one is that we do not get proper updates. Secondly, with the changes going on. So do you foresee any hiccup in the completion of the project with the change of partners, of a change of consultants?
So there are three parts of it, of your question. Part number one, that CIDCO doesn't share information. Part number two, that CIDCO did not tell about the Adani Group. And part number three would be, what do you see, any change to the timelines? So regarding the first thing, this has come to me from various people, and I intend to sit down because we have a separate PR department. And, in today's world, there are so many ways in which you can disburse information to the people. And in a democratic country, it is a right of the citizen to know what what the agencies of government are doing. And I'd just like to say, like in case of the coastal road project, when I took over the project, that time there were a lot of issues regarding the alignment, right? So what we did, we published the alignment. We made it public, and we told that Mumbai is a city of experts. Anybody has anything to say about the alignment, please tell us. So for 3 months, public objections were invited. In CIDCO's case, it's essentially an issue of land acquisition, so the due process has been followed. But in the other parts, I think we will definitely look into the way CIDCO reaches out to the people, and we will definitely try that, that CIDCO is able to discuss its point of view, and whatever it is doing gets the feedback from the people. So that is something which CIDCO will do, and I would be looking forward for your comments, and media's comments also.
Yes, of course, definitely.
But we need to know whether we are actually being able to spread out the message the way we want. So that is part one of the story. Part two is regarding the Adani deal, or the so-called Adani deal. So, that is something which has happened between Adani and GVK. CIDCO has not officially been communicated as of now, but we have learned from the communication which they have given to the stock exchange and the communication that they have given to the Securities and Exchange Board of India, and we are waiting for official communication from their side. So that is second part. And third thing is that regarding this airport, will there be any hiccups, etc. So I think I mentioned this in the last time, but we have to do a line listing. Large projects need to be firstly conceived, and after that they need to be broken down into executable parts. And every executable part, then has to be fixed up with responsibilities, timelines. That is a part of planning. So in certain countries, like in Japan, they spend 10 years in planning and 1 year on execution. So if you do good planning, then execution becomes more easier. Mm-hmm. So since now there might be a change once we officially get to know about whatever has happened. Therefore, definitely we need to do line listing, which we will do. And once we do that line listing, then after that we will be able to identify the issues very, very accurately. And then we will be able to tell, issues here, this is how it will happen. But definitely the airport project is, and will continue to remain one of the most important projects, not only of CIDCO, but of the state of Maharashtra, and I'm sure of the Republic of India as well.
Yes. The issue of the local villages, as you have also mentioned before, has not been completely resolved. Some of the villages have not yet accepted the compensation that has been given by CIDCO and have not handed over the land. So will that pose a problem? And would you like to give some message to the local villages?
Yes, I would like to give a message to the local villages that there is going to be an approach that we reach out to them and that we talk. Definitely that approach we will have. Because unless you talk to the people who are stakeholders in the project, you cannot move forward. So we will definitely be talking to everyone. Having said that, I want to say that only 4% of land remains to be acquired. In fact, the entire land acquisition has happened 2 years back. 4% land is pending, is awaited, so that much land remains to be actually taken. And that discussions will go on with the villagers, and we will take the land back. And we will try to do it such a way that you are able to achieve the tenet of the greatest good of the greatest harm.
Mm-hmm. And the local bodies are trying to grapple with the COVID pandemic situation. So what are the COVID care measures that CIDCO is undertaking?
So essentially the job of handling COVID is being done by the Public Health Department of Government of Maharashtra. And I was looking after that previously. So the role of certain agencies like CIDCO, MMRD, etc. is to fund these, and be a part of that process. So now the financial position of CIDCO is not as strong as it would have been, and I will come to that once we have the balance sheets in front of us. But after taking over any organization, the first thing we do is at the financial, is at the balance sheet. And that is something which we are still studying. So, but funding is one issue. So we have funded COVID care, 1100 bed COVID care center at Mulu, and we have funded a center at Thane. And we are looking for, there is some other request from some other local governments in the CIDCO area. So we are looking what we can do vis-a-vis that. And I, on my personal capacity, having been associated with that effort, definitely do my best to assist these local bodies in whichever way that
Many say that urban planning and even the housing will have to undergo, different changes to suit the new normal. Spaces, for instance, working from home, spaces required for social distancing, need for fresh air, etc. And Nana Township offers a good opportunity for development as per the new norm. So, what would you like to say on this?
Yeah, NEMA is basically the land pooling pattern of food issues. And it is also called as the order pattern. So it was first done in Ahmedabad, in the Ahmedabad Urban Development Authority. And they started this way back in 2004. And they have been able to develop very good thing on that. So on that same basis, various organizations like CIDCO, CIDCO, etc., they have moved town planning model. And accordingly, in NEMA area, certain schemes have been envisaged. Now, we recently had a meeting with the Honorable Minister on this, and the villagers also had come forward, and where the villagers have requested me that I should have a dialogue with them. So definitely I need to have a dialogue with these landowners. The dialogue should happen very shortly. So we'll talk to the villagers. We'll understand what is their problem. The 60-40 model is an old model. It needs to be relooked in the wake of new circumstances, so that it will be definitely looking. Having said that, the concept of, say, working from home. Now, this is going to, if this becomes the new normal, then obviously, do you need so much office space? Like when Indigo airline came out, so I was the collector of Nagpur district when it came out. And in Nagpur district, so you promote investment. So Indigo wanted to have its first airline. And so I was also looking after the Mihan project. So I was associated with getting that flight, the Nagpur Mumbai flight, and it was a big deal to get that flight at that point in time. So they had this concept at that time that what do you need for an office? What a laptop. All you need is a laptop and an internet connection. So once you have that thinking that people can work from home, like we are doing this interview, I am from my home, you are at your home. It's more convenient. It saves the commuting time. Then the whole question comes to: do you need those? Do you need those offices? Second thing which this pandemic has taught us is a lot of communication which happens in the corporate world. When I say corporate world, I mean the organized world. And this communication is not required. It is something which people do to fill up their time. So a lot of communication has now become electronic. And since people have to do the communication themselves and not delegate it down to someone else, therefore the amount of communication required has come down substantially. So the whole system is going to change. And as systems are going to change, the way cities are being built up is going to change. And second thing which we need to look from the planning angle is that, the role of health, sewage and sanitation vis-a-vis urban planning. So these are the three things. When you do spatial planning in the town plan and a master plan, then the way of thinking is different. It is very spatial, or else it is based on the transport corridors. But are you looking at it from the health angle, from the ventilation angle, from the angle of sewerage? So like at 8 o'clock in the morning when everybody is going to use the washroom, so are we going to plan our cities with that peak capacity right at the beginning, or are we going to let the city develop first and then do these things in a brownfield way? So these are the things which will actually become very important in the years to come. And I plan that we will make this, so because we have the opportunity of having a new city right from the day go, so we will implement this from the beginning and try to see that these issues do not happen as the city gets.
Right. We have been receiving lots of complaints from the residents of Kharghar. This is with regards to irregular supply of water and also lack of protection to the hills. The environmentalists and the Greens, they have been planting trees and saplings on the hills for the protection and for the greenery. And these are being set on fire by some miscreants. This has happened a number of times. And they have lodged complaints with the CIDCO, and they have requested, either some sort of barricading that can be placed or fencing that can be done around the hill, or maybe deploying some security guard around that. But so far this has not happened. Another issue that has come up is that the water bodies, water lakes that is there in CIDCO, in Kargar, that is also not being really looked after. And during immersion, Ganpati immersion Visarjan, there was no Nirmale Kalash as well. So the devotees faced quite a lot of problem. So what would you like to say on this?
Well, I think these are very, very crucial issues that you have pointed out. I must thank you for bringing this to my notice. Development cannot be at the cost of environment. I think that is a bottom line where we all have to sign on that. Development cannot be at the cost of environment. We have to think about ourselves and the generations that are going to follow us. So, forest protection is essentially the domain of the forest department. And whatever you do will be along with them, right? So, as far as forest fires and all that are concerned, that is actually the job of the forest department. I'll talk to the conservator of forest and find out what is the issue, and whatever help they require, definitely we will be a part of that. If they think certain things need to be done, we will help them. The private security guards cannot enter forest areas. For that, you require forest guards. There is a legal issue, and the forests are protected by various acts, and even the forest department is bound by that. But I'm happy that the citizens of Kharghar are environment conscious. I think that's a way to go, and we take that forward. Regarding the issue of water, actually I saw that CIDCO has a water requirement of something like 278 million liters a day, and currently CIDCO's water supply, the source is pretty good. There is some amount of water which is lost as we get the water into our city areas. Some villages take that water up and we don't charge them for that. There is another 150 million liters which has been sanctioned. So the question of source is very much there. Regarding the issue of the payments, I must tell you that only 20% of the bills are being paid. So the fundamental thing of public services is this: you get what you pay for. So I would request on your behalf all the citizens that please cooperate with us. We will definitely look into your issues, and I will definitely tell the water engineers to have a look at the issues of water and see that the water supply is regular and reliable. So it could be a systemic issue. The water supply system may have some systemic issues. Maybe there is an engineering solution, or it could be there is some steaming of water happening. Sometimes
the pressure is low. The pressure is low or something.
Which means the people upstream are drawing the water out infinitely. All those things are there. So I'll definitely look into that. But cause of concern is that only 20% people have paid their bills. And we have to understand one thing very clearly. Every organization has two parts, the receipt part and the expenditure part. And you get the service that you pay.
With the water bodies?
With the water bodies, it's a very good point. I have not been briefed about that. I will definitely look into that. And I think as far as Ganpati Visarjan is concerned, the SOP is very clearly written. So, like Nirmalya has to be done. You have to correct Nirmalya. Normally, the urban local body does it. Here, if the tradition is that CIDCO has been doing it, definitely we will not walk away from our responsibilities.
Similar complaints has come up from the residents of Ulve. There also the water supply is very erratic. They have also complaints with regards to picking up of garbage, which is not on time. And thirdly, the roads are in pathetic condition in that note.
All these issues are under consideration, and definitely we'll look into that. Also, we have to. I'll be talking with the urban local bodies and seeing there is a culture. So what's happening is that a facility is being built, and then the facility is not taken up by the urban local body because the urban local body gets the facility for free. The urban local body doesn't pay for it. Now, no organization can sustain anything for an infinite period of time. A development agency develops a particular thing and hands it over. Garbage collection is the responsibility of the urban local body. The urban local body cannot walk out of that. If a particular area is being developed, the urban local body has to make time for the garbage collection. That is the law of the land. So we will take those issues up and we will see that we will try to get solutions to it.
Another complaint that has come up is from the residents of Oran, Bori Pakhari. This is with regards to the dumping ground. I think you must be aware that the present dumping garbage site is very close to the residential area. And I think the Oran Municipal Council has requested for an alternative site from CIDCO. So what is the process? Has it been completed? If so, where exactly is it located?
So this issue will have to be seen in the entirety. So there is a Supreme Court judgment regarding dumping grounds all over the country. And the Supreme Court has mandated that the urban local body has to stop dumping, and the urban local body has to do scientific treatment of waste. Okay. The government of Maharashtra, the Urban Development Department 2, UD2, has therefore formalized the norms for that. All municipal councils have been asked to take those tenders out and start the process. So here what is happening, there is an urban development body called as a CIDCO, and there is an urban local body or a rural local body. Even rural local bodies also have to do it. Jilla Panchayats have to do it. Everybody has to do it. You know? So this will have to be studied in detail. What is the because landfill lands are very difficult to take. There was an old scheme of MMRDA, and MMRDA thought that it will develop a huge, waste treatment plant at Taloja, near Taloja MIDC, and all the smaller municipal corporations, they will give their waste there, right? And through that plant will succeed. So there are certain countries in the world which import waste. For instance, Netherlands imports waste, and that waste, it pays for the waste, and the waste generates power, the waste generates hot water, etc. So waste management is a commercially viable thing. It needs to be looked into from that angle, and that is my idea. I will take a full brief of this. I will see what is CIDCO's actual role, where do we fit in the process, and what can we do to see that waste management is done in a sustainable manner, whereby the urban local body is also able to fend for itself.
Yeah, the issue here is basically the dumping site that has been given to Uran Municipal Council. It is, the government has, it is a legalized land that they have given. But the issue is that there are residential complexes within 500 meters to the dumping ground.
I'm getting that. See, there is a dumping ground. Right. Like there is a dumping ground at Mulund, say in Mumbai. There's a dumping ground at Mulund. Residential council is right next to that.
Yeah.
So what is the court order? The court order is that you please process your waste scientifically. Otherwise, everybody will keep on asking for land and land and land. Land will never end. You have to process your waste scientifically. That is the answer. Otherwise, today it is close to somebody's house. Tomorrow it will be close to somebody else's farm. Day after it will be close to somebody else's farm. There are consequences to dumping. So therefore, waste has to be treated scientifically. All these things are, so the court orders are very clear in that, and government of Maharashtra instructions are also very clear in that. Regarding Uran, I intend to take a brief of the whole thing, and I intend to talk to the urban local body and see what they have done. Yeah. But just giving land after land after land, I do not think is a solution. So I'm not saying that we will not give them another piece of land.
It is also affecting, I think, the mangroves over there, because mangroves have also, so that is also there.
Affected because waste is not being scientifically treated. The key thing is scientific treatment of waste. So therefore, I think that the policy that we will adopt will be based on scientific treatment of waste.
Yes.
We will make scientific treatment of waste as the Kendra Bindu, as they say in Marathi.
Right.
As a central point, and then everything else will fall under that umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
So that is how this issue needs to be seen. These are extremely old problems, and these old problems, we just cannot solve it by saying, I will give you some other land, because when you give land elsewhere, again somebody else is getting affected because of it. Okay, so if you take the example which is very close to our home, like Mumbai. So Mumbai has Deonar, Mumbai has Mulund, right, and Mumbai has one at Kanjur. So the Kanjur site is now scientific. The Mulund site is being closed, it is being scientifically managed. And Deonar, the planning is going on for scientific management of waste. In the last 4 years that I spent at BMC, we did these two things, Kanjur and Deonar. Kanjur and Mulund. So that has to be the key thing. Again, we had asked for alternative land. The government of Maharashtra had given us land at Taloja. So that land we have used for, we are thinking of using for, BMC was thinking of using for CND plant, okay, a construction demolition waste plant. So that has to be the fundamental thing, the scientific treatment of waste. Once you do scientific treatment of waste, then the whole economics changes, and it pays for itself, or it pays for part of it, and then the management of waste becomes sustainable. Otherwise, management of waste will not be sustainable.
Right. And COVID has taught us one big lesson, that is, we cannot neglect the environment. And in this backdrop, we would like to know if you are reviewing the environmental policy, because there has been quite a lot of criticism of the way CIDCO has been handling this sensitive issue. The Mangrove Foundation, for instance, has been asking for the handing over of the 5 wetlands. Likewise, even the Mangrove Committee, has already asked CIDCO to transfer the sea forest to Forest Department. The environmentalists are eagerly awaiting for CIDCO to swing into action regarding this. So what is your take on this?
Yeah, definitely. I've been briefed of these issues. I have now sequenced a series of meetings on these things. So, in fact, there is a forest officer on deputation with CIDCO, who looks after these issues. So, we will take it within the 4 corners of law. Anyway, as far as environment is concerned, as I told you, there cannot be any compromise on the environment. So, whatever CIDCO will do, definitely it will have to be, I'll have to see that it is, environmentally sustainable.
And we have also been receiving that complaints that CIDCO offices is now banned for people. The citizens are not allowed inside the CIDCO buildings because of the pandemic, and it is also learned that CIDCO officials are working at reduced capacity. So please tell us, how can the citizens now connect with the CIDCO officials, or is there any redressal mechanism which they can use to lodge their complaints or grievances?
Right. So this is something which has also come to my notice, and after I took over, and came to my notice about 3-4 days back. That when I had one meeting with the stakeholders of Navi Mumbai, so I got to know about this. And the reason CIDCO banned this entry or whatever you say was the COVID epidemic. So at that point of time, when the government said that there will be 5% entry, so Mantra, whatever is the policy of government of Maharashtra, essentially that has to be followed by CIDCO. We cannot do something which is contrary to the government of Maharashtra. So as government of Maharashtra had a lockdown 1, lockdown 2, lockdown 3, right? After that, it had mission begin again. And in mission begin again, we had unlock 1, unlock 2, unlock 3, and now we are into unlock 4. So in unlock 4, we have, like for instance, meeting people by appointment is something. The whole delegation cannot come because obviously social distancing norms have to be followed. There are 3 things which cannot be compromised. Number 1 is safe distancing. Number 2 is masks. And number 3 is sanitization. In this background, you have to meet people, right? So what I have thought is that we will follow the same guidelines as mission begin again. We will be passing orders to the people. Number 1. Number 2, officers give you appointment for 1-to-1 meetings, right? So officers can also give appointment for Zoom meetings, or we can also have meetings on Microsoft Teams. There can be virtual meetings on whichever forum that is there. That will be more convenient to both the parties. You also don't need to come to my office and wait outside, right? So that inconvenience of coming is stopped. So we will take a review of this whole thing, and we will see that there is more interaction between the people and but this shall be within the ambit of the policy or mission begin again of the government.
What message would you like to give to the viewers?
Well, my message to the viewers is that those who live in the jurisdiction of CIDCO are fortunate to live in one of India's most happening sectors. It is perhaps the only sector in the entire country where you have a port which is being developed. That is the JNPT and the upgradation of JNPT. An airport which is being developed, that is Navi Mumbai International Airport. A suburban metro network that is a metro network that is being developed. A suburban train that is being developed, and a road network that is being developed. So this is actually an industrial zones that are being planned around. So this would perhaps be the most happening place in the history of in today's point of history. And this reminds me actually of few lines written by William Shakespeare. And the lines are as follows: there is a tide in the affairs of men, which taken at the flood leads to fame and fortune. So I would like to tell all the viewers that this is a tide which is there for those people who live in the area of CIDCO, and you have to take it at the flood, and that shall lead to your, a good future. A good future shall follow. And for that, we should have a spirit of negotiations and a spirit of conciliation. It should not be a spirit of quarrel. We should all sit down, talk, negotiate, conciliate, and try to find solutions. And if we are able to find solutions, then I'm sure that we have a great deal of urban development in the offering. Thank you.
I would like to tell you, sir, that whenever we have an interview with any of the authorities, we always, approach the citizens. We have a column, Ask the Authority, where we urge the citizens to come up with their issues that is getting, they are getting affected in their particular note. And when we told them that our upcoming interview is with CIDCO MD, we received a number of questions that they wanted us to highlight with you, with CIDCO MD.
Send it across to me so that I can initiate action on it.
In fact, it would be even more better if we have, because there is a time constraint, we cannot incorporate all those questions, but we would definitely like to have another interview maybe in near future so that even those questions can be highlighted and addressed.
Thanks a lot, and I'll be looking forward to it.
Thank you so much. And the viewers, stay safe, stay healthy, and please do follow the rules and regulations laid down by NMMC and the state government. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.